want to commend our law enforcement. The little fracas up there by the Dairy Queen and seeing the Facebook, I think everybody just handled that just wonderful. Thank you.
We just see just a little bit of what they have to put up with.
About 4
Probably
minutes
on a
and
daily
46
basis.
seconds.
Lee,
Just want to commend our employees in the city and thank them for being on call this weekend. Glad it didn't get as bad as what it did, but sure appreciate them being prepared.
I echo that. Lee, it's nice to know that they're there in the background and willing to put the hours in to keep our power on and our water going. And it's you don't start thinking about it until we start facing what some people in the rural communities have no power. So it is much appreciated, I think, by all of our citizens.
Just reiterate what Lee said. Good job.
Matt?
I was just gonna jump on board. I've had several citizens come up to me and commend both our police department and our power department for keeping the power on during that. So, yeah, the professionalism of the law enforcement was highly talked about last week.
Lloyd?
I have nothing to add to that.
Okay. Sometimes it's tough being loud.
Yeah.
All the good stuff's going on. Katie, do you have anything at this time?
Not at this time, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Rudy?
Just to piggyback on what you guys were saying, I think I talked to Ron this afternoon, and at that point, they'd had about 22 or so calls for service, you know, just out there battling it during Sunday night, I think, through all day yesterday, so, but like I said, they answered the bell, so. great job.
Was it mostly alley to home?
Yeah, mostly services, I think, yeah, mostly services, tree branches falling on them, or, you know, different things like that, so they were able to tackle all of them.
Well, it shows that our system's in a lot better shape sometimes than what we might think it is.
Yeah.
too. So, anything else?
That's all for now, yep.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Elam, do you have anything at this time?
Well, actually, we'd like to thank the community for being careful on the streets. Over the weekend, we only had about 3 accidents. I attribute that to everybody being careful, paying attention to what was going on, so thanks.
Thank you. Heather, do we have a community development?
Just a little bit. Neighborhood revitalization got signed off today at the county level, so all 7 taxing entities have signed off. We had 7 public hearings, and we didn't have any negative reports at all. Nobody even commented at a public hearing, so that's good. And then the only other thing I wanted to talk about was the Community Foundation has grant applications that are due again on February 1. So if you know of something even in your community or in your social group or in a service organization that you're involved with, there's a little over $55,000 that's available to be granted out February 1. And there aren't a lot of applications in so far. As far as the city, things that we have applied for, we applied for the AED devices that went in all the vehicles. And also here and at the pool, we applied for that and was awarded that. We also applied last round for the walking bridge. We did some cleanup of the trail down there by the walking bridge into the park and did some lighting. So those are 2 of the things that we've applied for here that we've been granted. I think those are the only 2 unless I'm forgetting one. But there is more to be handed out. Again, this is through the Solomon Valley Community Foundation, but the $50,000 comes directly from Dane Hansen, and then the additional $500 or $5,500 is our own community foundation money. Questions?
Okay.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda this evening is the consent agenda. So moved. Been moved by Councilman Graybon that we approve the consent agenda in its entirety. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second by Councilman McMillan. Is there any further discussion? No further discussion. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. Next item on the agenda this evening is the Hill Committee. I think that's the appointment of the Hill Committee.
Yeah, you guys remember a couple of months ago we talked about this over some time, maybe some history in the write-up, and so on the names that are on there, and part of the ordinance, and I think I included that. Yep, I included that for your remembrance, I guess. we had certain positions that were spelled out, you know, like myself being on there, somebody from the NCK Aware and the school administrator. So we hit all of those individuals, and we got a couple of citizens at large, namely Chad Lorenz, Jeff Zimmer, and kind of across, but I think it's gonna be a nice communication back and forth. That'd be Jesse Benedict. He is on our planning commission, but kind of acting as a citizen at large, since we didn't really dictate a planning commission member, but I think it'll be a good tie-in with what they do on this. So, so yeah, excited about everybody that jumped on this, and now that we've kind of, hopefully we'll get them appointed tonight, then we can kind of get some meetings rolling and kind of get there, figure out what their purpose is and what they want to get on their agenda and on their plate to tackle. So it's kind of the first big step, well, I guess the second big step, besides just appointing the committee, so.
I'd make a motion that we approve the list of individuals that are listed here on the EO committee.
It's been moved by Councilman Miller that we approve the list of people on our HEAL committee that has been submitted. Do I have a second? Second by Councilman Shrell. Any further discussion? No further discussion. Those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda this evening is adjournment. Been moved by Councilman Audi to be adjourned. Second? Second by Councilman McMillan.
Seems too soon.
Discussion? Pardon?
This seems too soon.
Yeah, but it ain't over. It's over.
It's just getting started now.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries, we're adjourned. I don't think we need to take a break. But we'll go into work.
Yeah, that was only stressful 8 minutes.
Katie, do you have anything at this time?
Just a couple things, I guess, obviously you don't have in front of you the ordinances and the charter ordinances for our big change. I hope to have that by tonight, but with municipal court was last Monday, and then with the 36 easements that we're trying to acquire, that were due, we needed like 2 days ago. I've been working on that, so that's why, and then I think we're gonna go ahead and discuss that a little bit further tonight. So I've been kind of really hitting those easements, trying to find people, find signers for all those, so that we can move forward with Safe Routes to School. But after our discussion tonight, hopefully the next meeting, I've got a couple weeks in here that I can get that finished up for you. So that's really all I have.
Has everything been positive with the easements so far?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, everything's been really good. It's just
Just tracking down everybody.
trying to track down everybody. There's some that are harder to find than others. So.
Okay. Jason?
Yeah, hopefully you saw my report in there. I keep adding things to it that we're tackling. We did a couple things that we did this last week or two. Met with Vicki and the historical group, talk a little bit about the Little Red Schoolhouse, kind of how we left it there is that Morgan's put together kind of a list of, hey, what we need to do to the building. It's kind of a little bit more than just, throw some paint on it if you've been up close to it. So we kind of left it that we're going to actually get some numbers on that, because it's going to probably dictate kind of how the community wants to get involved and maybe really shape the whole discussion, depending on what kind of dollars it's going to take to really make that kind of a long-term viable. Again, I think if you've walked up on it, it's even 10 feet away, it's like, oh, it's not too bad, but you get right up on it, it needs some help. So I think that'll really help with the whole discussion. So that's kind of where we left that at that point. So we're getting those numbers, and we'll kind of reconvene with them before we start approaching you guys with any sort of plans if needed. Another thing that I kind of want to make sure you guys knew we had going on and kind of happening before I got here, and obviously during, but we had Kansas Department of Labor come in to the electrical facilities and the plants and that, and kind of do a walkthrough and suggest some safety updates. And I think one of those pieces that we had come to you was the arc flash study to make sure we have our hazardous equipment program right and our emergency action plan. And there's about 18 items on there that had a due date of, I think, mid-November. We did ask for a 60-day extension. We're obviously still waiting for more things to come back in. A lot of the emergency action plan, that type of stuff, is pretty boilerplate stuff that you know, OSHA and the department later today say, hey, just have this and put your name in it, so we're kind of doing that. You know, we want to make sure it's tailored to us, but we want to make sure we can also check it off to some extent. So we are in the process of asking for one more 60-day extension, but I have kind of taken that on myself with them to make sure we're going to get that done. And you know, it's like our SDS sheets, if you're not familiar with that, it's all your chemicals. We have to get that all gathered. That really hasn't been done for a long, long time, if ever, that I could gather. You know, it's been a long time, I guess I should put it that way. So we're getting those all updated, not only what we have, and you have to keep that for a long, long time, but also new stuff. So that's, you know, unique to the facility, but also to the power plant. So there's several items that are still outstanding, but we are working on it. I just want to make sure you're aware of it, since it is, you know, kind of a state agency kind of looking down on us about that. Another thing, that the pilot testing has ended. That's getting disassembled, taken apart. So that piece is going away, kind of like I wrote in my report. Really, in talking with Dan Clare further, we've really made sure we're developing, you know, a good relationship, working relationship with KDHE. And Dan really stressed that he'd really like us to make sure we get the CT calculation and, you know, the profile benchmark, CT calculation stuff on our current system, our current treatment process done and wrapped up. And so, and I would concur with that, you know, let's knock that out first. And so we're really focusing on that right now. It's John Brummer's helped kind of gather that information, and now Stuart and his team, it's kind of a team approach on this, is going through it with fine tooth comb, making sure all the calculations are right and the formatting is correct. And Dan did email us at the end of last week saying he's ready for us to resubmit that. So Stuart's going to go through it one more time, a few updates that we had. I really want to make sure it's right on this what I call first submittal now that we're kind of on a fresh foot here. So so that's exciting. At least we'll get that knocked out. And then we're going to be able to, because with the pilot testing, and I don't know how clear that was, that's kind of something that we do have to run through KDHE and make sure we hit their points that they want, and also our waste stream, which I know was brought up last time. You know, what are we doing with the byproduct? And so it's something that we want to make sure that we're crossing our I's and dotting, or crossing our T's and dotting our I's. We do it the other way, that we're going to get kicked out of it, but we want to do it right. You know, doing that correctly with our current issue, but then also getting off on the right foot with the pilot testing and kind of the, you know, his background information. So there's a lot of stuff that we need to do. We maybe have the cart just a little bit before the horse right now, so we're going to get that in the correct order, and I think it'll pay off in the long run with this stuff. So just a little bit of update on that. We also have been meeting quite a bit on the West Side Park, and so we have some exciting things that we're tackling, and really just trying to get an idea of where we would locate the equipment. And at this point, I'm in the process of asking a couple of the vendors just to do a real simple rendering based on kind of our assumed budget that we may be able to fundraise and the footprint we kind of identified. And so that way then we could kind of as a committee kind of come up with some ideas. We figured we'd come up with a couple dozen maybe themes or ideas that we would come up with, and kind of an idea I had is just kind of have an open house for kids, and then let kids just kind of come up here and you each get a dot and pick the one you like the best type of deal. It'd be kind of a fun way for the kids to get involved and kind of pick out their playground, I guess. So we'll try that and see how fun that would be. But I think it'd be kind of cool. And we'll have to figure out a time of the day to do that. And that's kind of down the road maybe. But that's about all that I had that was above and beyond what was in there. I don't know if anybody had any questions or need anything back from me right now. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Next item under discussion items is the 6-member council and 2 ward system.
All right. So, as Katie mentioned, you know, we were busy with the St. Bronson School, and she did have to dig up a ton of stuff. So that was sorry, I kind of lost what I'm doing here. Doing something fancy. And so we weren't able to necessarily get that charter ordinance to you guys, but I kind of figured it was something that we could rediscuss and talk about the council ward change and the kind of how we wanted to do the election terms. You know, we had 4 and 2, and I think there was a little bit of confusion. Matt was able to make the meeting, so I talked with him, and we bounced some ideas back and forth a little bit. So I figured, hey, this might be a good opportunity since we've talked about this, and it's kind of not necessarily complicated, but it can be a tricky how's this all gonna flow and work out? I figured what's the harm of taking this meeting and putting a little bit more time into discussing this to kind of get it right, so, or, you know, get the best shot at it. So kind of what I did, and you saw it in your packet, was I tried to kind of visualize. I'm more of a visual guy if I can see it. I think, you know, the wards and kind of how we had that split's probably pretty set. I put that in there just again for reference. I think that's, you know, we kind of got that figured out. So kind of what I put together was this piece here, to kind of give myself a visual, because it's one thing to say 4 and 2 and 2 and 4 and this year and this person's going to drop, and it kind of gets muddled in my mind a little bit. So so maybe this is only for my own benefit, but I thought I'd share it anyways. So kind of what I put together was the first option that I think we've been talking about a little bit. Now granted, we did talk about 4 and 4 I think earlier on.
My question was, in the draft that you got,
Yeah.
I was having a little tough time deciphering what you got. I'm assuming that the counselors that are highlighted in gray are assuming to be competing for seat 1.
Yes, yeah.
And
It doesn't mean they're
ones
going to
in
get
blue-
that seat, but yeah, that's kind of how I
ones
get
in
to
blue,
keep it straight.
the 2 and
Yep.
the
Yeah, I can kind of